Well, how are the children to do? This year the Queen Quet coming to Hunter Live one more again from Penn upon Historic Centennial Island. Yeah, with my home today at children. It's so glad that this year day we just sit down right here at the school. Now for Hunter children who ain't been know, Penn Center been Penn Community Services, and for that it been Penn School. This year been the first school for what it be called freedmen. There been a man, there been a woman, there been a children. They call all of we freedmen alpha. You see, big shooting thing be done and freedom be done come. Now this year, we just still celebrate 150 years since the school. Now y'all children know I'm a mathematician, so really the school 151 years old, so don't send me no email, I know that. But see, the school founded back in 1862. But now 1863, Emancipation Proclamation reached upon Centennial. So see, and plenty of things been going on when the school been first getting going. So that's why we just celebrate this year 150 for a few years, yeah? But now, things been a change back a yonder, and things a change every day. So this year, yeah, we don't change up the executive director from 100 children, do you know? So that's who I got with me right now. We the day in the office, y'all at Penn Incorporated. Welcome to Gullah Geechee TV, Mr. Campy. How am I going to do today?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for coming this morning.
Oh, I'm so glad for day with Hunter. So now, Hunter ain't a Gullah Geechee tall that people done get it there. So tell my viewers, where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Conway. I've been in Conway for the last 30 years. And most recently I was running a psychiatric hospital for children.
Wow.
In King Street.
Mm-hmm.
And but I've been in nonprofits all my life, and I actually had an illness that was a life-changing event for me, and it was the revelation. It was really the Lord's way of saying St. Helena Island and Penn Center is where you need to be coming.
Yeah.
And so here I am.
Well, see, God always sends people to St. Helena for healing. We realize that. Right. So definitely we pray we will be a blessing and part of your healing process.
It already has.
Yes. Now, Conway, King Street, all that's still here in the Gullah Geechee Nation. So it's outstanding. You've just been making your way south, it just sounds like.
Yes, ma'am. To the epicenter.
Yes, to the epicenter of it all. And to Penn Center in particular. So you are now our executive director. So how many months has it been?
3.5.
3.5. Feel like 3 years, don't it?
In a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways it was like yesterday. But I can honestly say, Miss Queen, that I've never learned so much in 3 months ever in my life.
Wow.
No class in school, no orientation anywhere have I learned so much about history and this rich, beautiful culture we call Gullah Geechee. I just can't say enough about people like yourself, Ms. Victoria, our Director of History, Art, and Culture, because that's where I'm getting my knowledge. And I can't create a compelling story to potential funders until I embody, this beautiful, rich culture.
Right.
And that's where I'm at right now.
That's wonderful.
I learn every single day from people like yourself and the Islanders who have. I mean, and I know I'm a little different from the standard Islander, you know. But I had a lot of fun at my first community sing.
Oh yes. You got to shouting a little bit.
I did. It was spectacular. And I teased them all, and I said. Now, when we finish the community sing, we have freshmen in the back. I want you to come over and introduce yourself, and you'll know me because I'll be wearing the pink shirt.
All right.
So anyway, but I'm having a blast. People have embraced me and engaged me, and I feel like I'm quickly becoming a member of the community.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting listening to you talk about being here now, and like you said, you had to wear the pink shirt, you know, so we can tell you from the rest of us on the island. Is that I am feeling and hearing Laura Town and Ellen Murray, and I could hear and feel them saying the same things. You know, from reading even Laura Town's journal, or even going into Charlotte Fortin's journal. A lot of the words that are coming from you are the words we've read and heard about over all these decades of people coming to this island that were from the island and saying how, you know, it was new to them, how they had to learn about it, but then how the community embraced them. And I believe in divine order. And so I just feel like it's divine order and divine timing that here, as soon as we talk about celebrating the 150th of Penn, which was founded, for those who don't know, Laura Town and Ellen Murray were not Gullah Geechee. They were Anglo women, all right? They came from up north to south and said, well, we are going to establish a school here for the freedmen. Part of the Gideonite band and the Port Royal experiment. That's homework. Y'all know I'm always a perpetual teacher. So go look those things up. And so hearing you is like you brought their spirit back. Like their bodies are buried right here at Brick Church. But it feels like you brought their spirit back saying, well, we want to educate. That's what we went to the island for, and now here you are. So it really has been this circle that's been going on. We have these different cycles in life that come in circles.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and so we're really looking for this next 150 years to really embody what this year's theme of Heritage Days is. Eyes still on the prize, continuing a legacy of change. So I heard you mention something. I know the folks who are from St. Helena Island are definitely sitting home. I know how to chill, and I done got this year one. When you said embrace Gullah Geechee culture at Penn, that's a big change. Because when the school first started, it was seen that our language was backwards, ignorant, shouldn't be continued, that we didn't know how to articulate English. I think I got that down a little bit, and so on. But people would come here to this campus over decades of time and ask about Gullah Geechee and would be told, what? That's not part of this school. That's not part of this campus. And even once this became a museum, it was like, oh, no, 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 no. And then now we've come to where this is going to be an institution to celebrate the culture. So why do you think, as an executive director, that would even be important? Why not just say, well, like others have said, well, this is a school. We can just celebrate the history of this school. Why is the culture there?
Well, the first thing I would say is that so many African Americans can trace their ancestry right to here.
So true.
You know, we can't really know where we as a culture are going if we can't embrace and love where we've been and where we came from. Right. So there's the reason, okay? But I can't take credit for that. I think Dr. Campbell had an epiphany when he got to go to Sierra Leone. Right. Before that, I think, just as you said, it was more suppress our Gullah roots. Absolutely. And let's, because the only way to really get ahead in the world is to adopt the Anglo way of doing things. Right. Speak proper English and comb your hair a certain way.
Right. Dress a certain way.
Yes,
don't farm or don't use those herbs. Do this way from the store or whatever.
Yes,
package.
But I think the message that I've learned in my very short time is that when General Saxton came into Port Royal Sound and chased off the Confederacy and chased off the plantation owners, what he found was a resilience and a self-sufficiency that is rarely found, and that is to really be celebrated. And because the islanders had no problem handling their own newfound freedom.
That's right. That's right.
Give me a plot of land and
going out my way now.
That's right. That's right.
Going out my way now. I got it.
We're good to go.
That's right.
So that's why. And then Dr. Campbell went to Sierra Leone, and he came back a transformed executive director.
Right, because he even said to me, he told us when we first started Native Islander Gullah celebration on Hilton Head, and we were all having a book signing together. And he actually let the audience know that night. He said, when I used to be at Penn Center and people would ask me about Gullah, I would run them off. That's a direct quote. I would run them off. So it wasn't until President Momo came to Penn Center, and then the Krakinti didn't Gullah anything like that. And everybody in the audience responded back. That was kind of the light switch moving.
I see.
And then when Dr. Campbell got to go to Sierra Leone, when the director Campbell got to go to Sierra Leone, the light bulb came on. Exactly. And so it's really good to hear you continuing that. And I know you said in English, but you know, as we say here, if honey ain't know where honey the day from, honey ain't going to know where honey the going. And so it's definitely critical, as you're saying, to go back in order to go forward. And what I love about what you're mentioning is the foundation was poured, bricks were put on there, but then you have to go ahead and put your columns up, your beams in,
Yes, ma'am.
put your roof on, and then you have a stable house. Wherein a lot of people, when they come in new, they act like, no, I need to build. And people are like, you need to build? What are you talking about? You have a house already. Just maintain that house.
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's really good to hear you want to maintain the house, but renovate the house too, so that there are new things brought in. Because I know one of the things that you talked about in one of your other interviews, and you and I talked about a little briefly, is how you want a living experience to happen here when people visit Penn Center. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, again, talking about Heritage Days, and this is going to be my first Heritage Days to celebrate. I'm aware of a Gullah Roots village.
Yes.
I would like to have that experience for our guests. What I think Penn Center right now is the best kept secret in probably the whole corridor. Mm-hmm. And people discover us on their way to Hunting Island, or they've got too much sunburn, or they have a rainy day, and let's see what there is to explore, and they stumble upon us. I want Penn Center. Penn Center has a very, very historic message, and a very important role to play. And I want Penn Center to become a destination. Right. Let us be the destination, and then let them find Hunting Island
afterwards,
or downtown historic Beaufort or whatever. Because and we had a conversation off camera about a very celebrated bateau builder.
Yes, yes, Samuel Moultrie.
Yes, ma'am. And what's happening is these beautiful, rich artisans, cast net makers, the bateau builders. Now, Sweetgrass is still alive and well, but some of the other things that define
the
indigo,
absolutely,
are starting to die. And that is a tragedy.
It is.
I want to energize that. I want to revitalize it, because not only does it help keep the culture alive, but it also is a living testament to our visitors.
Absolutely.
And of course, as executive director, I need to be thinking about sustainability as well.
Yes.
And so if we have greater offerings, we create a financial underpinning as well, so that I don't have to worry about how I can
keep the doors open.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep staff employed.
And to keep refurbishing infrastructure, beautiful meeting spaces and residential spaces.
Absolutely.
We just have to plan. Every 10 years, it needs a facelift.
Right, absolutely. Especially in this sea island, sand.
Yes,
and with all the salt in the air.
Yes.
Yeah, it would work over a building pretty good.
It certainly will, and vehicles too. But that's another conversation. But yes, I think if we create a real experience, we have a marsh tacky. Bo is living on a pasture.
Yeah.
He's got a story to tell.
Right.
He's got a story to tell. Let's
Absolutely.
bring him on campus and let him tell a story. We've got 5 bateaus at Penn Center.
Stored away.
And not one of them is on display.
Telling the story. That has to change.
It's going to change.
Yes.
It is going to change.
And you have living stories here, because there's so many of us that grew up coming to Penn School. My parents attended here. My father's a graduate here. God bless the dead, as you mentioned. Samuel Moultrie, another family member of mine, who worked with me, who built boats with me all the time. Captain Gree, who still works with me, does cast nets. Luke Smalls, God bless the dead, who did that. So these are things that I have always seen the value. And through the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition, we've always worked with Penn to try to bring more enlightenment to that part. But as I said, it wasn't always acceptable, because they felt like, well, no, I don't think we're supposed to do that. There was still this conflict. So it's really good to see this conflict kind of resolved now, where we really are moving forward in time and really continuing that legacy of change. And even when you mention infrastructure, I know the Penn Club has an initiative right now for memorial bricks. for the road for $100 per brick. And so definitely that's something that I want my viewers to know about, that that's another way they can contribute to Penn, as well as Penn Club. And of course they just take checks anyway. You can always just write a check to Penn Center Inc. All right.
They still work.
Those still work. And so tell them, since this is your first Heritage Day, we know you hadn't seen everything yet, but you've been in some planning meetings. Tell me what you're really looking forward to Heritage Day weekend.
Oh, there's so much. I'm really looking forward to just walking. I mean, and introducing myself to the community. But before we go there, I just want to mention that when we talk about what defines Gullah culture, we can't we can't state more assertively than to say storytelling is a rich, beautiful component of the and not to blow smoke, but I got to see you perform at the library, and I was moved. You're inspirational. You're funny. You have a great sense of humor, and you put on a persona. You get into character, and it was just a marvel to behold, because you lectured as Queen Quet. Then it was like you put on a
traditional clothes, apron,
and you were a new person, and I just love that, and that needs to be celebrated as part of this evolved Penn. And then the last thing I want to kind of convey is my education. I learned about the Civil War. I learned about emancipation. I learned about the Gullah Geechee culture, and then and then as far as Penn is concerned, then fast forward 100 years to 1960s now, when Dr. King began to frequent here. Well, I had a meeting with someone, and it was, you talk about the proverbial light bulb. It wasn't then and now. It was an evolution. From capture in Africa, enslavement, some sort of emancipation, then Jim Crow laws, then you go back, and then
segregation period,
and even today we're still fighting for equality,
human rights and equality.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
And so it's not a snapshot in 1862 and a snapshot here and then 1960s. It's all been a beautiful evolution,
Absolutely.
And so anyway, but so Heritage Days is much like
journey.
That journey. Because we've got the symposium that focuses on civil rights.
Exactly.
We've got the Gullah Roots Village. We're celebrating.
We have the reenactments. We have the reenactments that are going to have the 54th Mass, the 1st South Carolina Volunteers.
That's right. And then and we're celebrating, again, another component of the Gullah culture is music.
We got gospel praise. We got the traditional prayer service. Definitely. And then we got even the slide dancers this year.
Slide dancers. We got Roy C.
There we go. That's right.
And the drummers will be there.
Definitely. Numerous African drummers and dancers.
And we'll have traditional
food.
We've got to have food.
You can't come up on the down island and get nothing but now on prayer day. We're going to have plenty of food. So we have the Taste of the Sea Islands Thursday. So honey can get on a belly full for start off your whole thing. Then go to church and shout them off. You understand? So we're going to do that. And then, of course, all of our vendors that's going to be here. Numerous folks that serve food. Yes, scores of them. So you'll be able to get baskets, food, posters, CDs, books. 100 children go see me and all me glory and things like that. 100 children know I don't never do things 2 times and things like that. So come for see what I can do this year. And so the Gullah Connection going to be here for the first time at Heritage Day this year. So y'all going to see something y'all hadn't seen. And so we have it all. I mean, this year it really is going to be that journey. So folks, y'all got to join us to take the rest of this evolution even further. And so this is a whole transformational opportunity that's going on that you can be a part of. So we definitely want you to join us November 7th through the 9th this year, right here, Penn Center, on historic St. Helena Island, South Carolina. For all the 100 children want to get in like this, St. Helena Island, South Carolina, and things like that. 100 know it's going to be a time. And so definitely I want you to join me and Mr. Campy while we come here to celebrate who we be right here for Heritage Day. Eyes still on the prize, celebrating a legacy of change. And we're so glad you are part of this legacy of change, Mr. Campy.
It's my blessing.
It's the first time on Gullah Geechee TV, but ain't gonna be the last time. Okay, so 100 children gonna have to join we upon this year journey for make more pages in the book about we story. And 100 children know, if 100 today with me, 100 why know this year the what going on. So from all the Gullah Geechee nation, this year the Queen Quet, and we so glad that 100 children could come here for this year, 31 years now, a Heritage Day celebration. All this year for the family. So come here and have some fun with we. Peace and blessings.
Oh, I done, oh, I done, oh, I done what you told me to do.
Welcome back to the Southern Scene on WSAV. You know, when it comes to the Gullah Geechee Nation, well, they really have been a nation within a nation for quite some time. The history is tremendous, and if you've never found out about it or taken the time to research a little, well, you need to do so. We're going to be talking about the Gullah Geechee Nation and Penn Center today, right here on the Southern Scene. And joining me now is Mike Campy. I'm so glad to have you with me, the Executive Director here of Penn Center, and also Queen Quet. And it's an honor, the chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation.
It's a blessing. How honored to do today.
It is wonderful to see you both on the Southern Scene. Thank you for being a part of the Southern Scene today.
Thank you for having us.
So let's talk about Penn Center to start off with. Can you give me a little bit of history where this is concerned?
Sure. In November of 1861, abolitionist Northern General Saxon tried to go into the port of Charleston, couldn't because of Fort Sumter. Sailed further south, came into Port Royal Sound, which happens to be the deepest sound on the East Coast. Met very little resistance. There were a couple skirmishes, chased off the Confederacy, and along with them went the plantation owners, and he declared the slaves then freed. So before the Civil War even really got traction, and before the year Emancipation Proclamation, we had on St. Helena Island freed slaves. What we learned before Laura Town and Ellen Murray, our founders, came from Pennsylvania, was that the Gullah Geechee people, these freed slaves, were remarkably resilient and self-sufficient. They had been farming these lands for 2 centuries for the plantation owners, and so they already knew how to raise crops, and they already were living off the water. They sowed their own cast nets, etc., and caught their own seafood. And so it wasn't a far stretch to see them thrive upon the exodus of the plantation owners. So fast forward to April of 1862, and we consider ourselves founded on April 15th, tax day of 1862.
You can't forget that day.
You can't forget that date. That's right. In fact, we have a Founders Day. But so Laura Town and Ellen Murray were 2 adventurous Unitarian missionaries from Pennsylvania, and there was going to be this Port Royal experiment. Can these freed slaves be taught the 3 R's? We knew they understood agriculture because they'd been doing it for so long. But anyway, so they get on a boat that the Union Army didn't even want. It was in such disrepair, and they adventured down the East Coast and came here and founded Penn Center.
Which is pretty amazing. Now, the Gullah Geechee Nation, can you give me the radius that we're talking about within the Gullah Geechee Nation? Because, of course, we know St. Helena Island. But let's talk about the radius that we're talking.
So I wanted to get about the Gullah Geechee Nation. I want to talk about Jacksonville to Jacksonville. So if you start at Jacksonville, North Carolina, and just proceed southward to Jacksonville, Florida, encompassing all the sea islands that are in the Atlantic Ocean, then travel westward to the St. Johns River, about 30 to 35 miles, you will take in all of the Gullah Geechee nations.
Now, you obviously, you know, are a part of the Gullah Geechee Nation, and with you being the chiefess, you know, of the Gullah Geechee Nation, that's quite an honor. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, as the chiefess is, when I was elected back in 2000, it was after a one-year-long election process took place throughout North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. And so elders had come to me because we've been dealing with issues of displacement from the land. So if the people are displaced from the land, the culture won't thrive and survive. So we wanted to figure out a way to come together so that we could maintain our culture, maintain our land ownership, and so that all the years, I think I got that every 100 to come, 100 could find me. So we wanted to make sure as people continue to come, you'll find us here. So once we found out on the international level that if you had leadership, you have land, you have culture, you have distinctive boundaries, and you can prove that we have that connection historically very easily here, then we could then be recognized internationally as a nation. And we were already recognized by the UN as a cultural and linguistic minority, all right? So there were already laws pertaining to us, but no one knew that was Gullah Geechee. So when I went to the United Nations in, again, April 1999, this then brought Gullah Geechee to a global platform. But now they said, but you have to be able to engage with us. We need your leader. So elders had already asked me, if we all come together, would you be the leader? We don't know what title you will have yet. It could be president, it could be something else, we're not sure. But we want to have an election. So they held this election for a whole year, and then I was installed on an island called Sullivan's Island up in Charleston County on July 2nd, 2000. That is when the Gullah Geechee Nation officially became world recognized as a nation. Even though historically, even from the 1700s, people had visited here on St. Helena and Charleston and wrote "Toward a Nation Within a Nation." And they were talking about our ancestors and how even though they were enslaved at that time, they were the majority and they were running everything. So they were like, but they have their own governing system. They are doing things on their own. So they are a nation, even though we look at them as part of the colonies at that time that were forming as a nation. So the Gullah Geechee Nation really is a continuum of all these years from the 1600s up to now that our ancestors have been here. And so it's always an honor to go around the world and meet with other heads of state, or even the Department of State brings heads of states here to meet me, and so that we can negotiate and talk about how we're going to keep the culture and things like that. And so how do you keep your culture alive so that others will see it?
Let me ask you, what do you feel is the biggest misconception where the Gullah Geechee Nation is concerned? I mean, what is it that you feel are the obstacles and maybe the things that people don't understand?
Well, one of the things that we find is a major obstacle is miseducation about Gullah Geechee culture, what it actually is and whether it still exists. Many times people believe because they see us in a documentary, oh, that's a culture that used to be Gullah. So when they come on St. Helena Island and then they get a people right to take like this, you know, and when someone says, that's our native language. Really? What is it? It's Gullah.
And I'm so glad that you said that because this is something, I mean, there are living, breathing people in the Gullah Nation right now.
Yes.
This is not something that history away, even though it was.
It was, and it is.
Active culture that is going on right
That's
now.
right, and that's why even on the Gullah Geechee Nation flag it says, we be Gullah Geechee Uncle. And we be is a passage time. It is the past and it is the future while you're in the present. So that's what our culture is. And so when you come on these sea islands, you would be remiss if you missed out on learning who we are. And so when you say misconceptions, a lot of times people think that when we say we're the Gullah Geechee Nation, that we're completely separated from the United States, where we actually have dual citizenship in the Gullah Geechee Nation and in the United States. We are part of them both, just like we're part of Mother Africa, even though we're here. And so we are intertwined. So on our flag, we have human bodies intertwined that make up the body of a tree, and the roots go deep into the soil. And so a proverb that's going on in the world that my
that has become our motto with the Gullah Geechee Nation. And so we always want people to understand, just like the roots of a powerful, mighty oak tree, you don't see them above ground. You have to dig deep to get to them. But that's where that life force comes in and life source comes in. And that's the same thing for Gullah Geechee culture.
Is this something that